Hey, well and good. My name is Charlee Atkins, and today we are doing a 25-minute lower body workout using just body weight. Pretty amazing. You're not going to need any equipment, so let's go ahead and get started. We of course are going to start with some of our warm-ups. We're going to do hip circles standing to start. So all you're going to do is bring one knee up towards your chest with hips and shoulders staying squared forward. You're going to tap the toe behind you and then bring your foot right back towards the front. So you're trying to bring the knee up into hip flexion, opening it into external rotation, closing it back up and bringing the foot right back forward. Now we're going to do all of our warm-ups 2 times through. Just excuse me, just to make sure we're extra warm, ready to go. So all we're doing is rotating the hips, trying to keep our balance. If you need to hold onto a chair, you can. And then from here, all I want you to do is just come into a simple march. So you're just bringing the knee up towards the chest, but not all the way into the chest. Opposite elbow and opposite hand are also going to move at the same time. If you'd like to turn this into a skip, you can. However, this workout doesn't really have a whole lot of jumping, so we can stay right here with our traditional march. So just bringing the knee up, stack shoulders over hips. And then from here, we're going to start to transition towards our butt kicks, but it's not a moving butt kick. All you're going to do is pull the elbows behind you, bring the heel towards the booty, and just step side to side. So this is to open up the front part of the thigh where the quadriceps are, and a little bit of the hip flexors too, the deep hip flexors I should say. Same thing, stack shoulders over hips, and all you're doing is just moving from side to side, pulling the heel in towards the booty. As you pull the elbows behind you, think about pulling the shoulder blades together. That way you can open up the chest. A little side exercise that will help you with your posture. We're here for another 5 seconds, and then we're gonna head right back to those standing circles. From here, so standing up nice and tall again, knee comes into chest, reach the toe behind you, bring the foot right back towards the front, and then switch sides. A warm-up is essential before every single one of your workouts because you want to make sure that the muscles are primed and ready to move. So just taking those hip circles nice and slow. Reaching behind you, trying not to let the hips and the shoulders rotate. Just letting that foot go behind you. We'll do one more on the opposite side. And then let's go ahead and take it into our march. So just to add a little bit of movement, in your march, you're just gonna start moving laterally, side to side, knees come up towards the chest, and just adding a little creativity into your workout by adding some lateral movement. So you're not always just doing the same exercises, even though the same exercises are not a bad thing. We've got about 14 seconds left here to go. And then we're gonna head right back into those standing butt kicks. If you wanna turn it into a little bit more of a jog, you can. Remember, in your marches, opposite knee, opposite elbow. It does take a little bit of coordination, but it's okay if you mess it up. So from here, if you do wanna add a little bit of a hop, we can just take it into a jogging butt kick. So butt kicks are great for a warm-up because they help open up the front part of the thigh. From here, after we finish this entire warm-up, we're gonna head into our first chunk of exercises. I'm sure that they're all exercises that you've done before, but I can promise you this, certified trainer, they are effective in targeting the lower body. About 5 more seconds here in our butt kicks. In 3, 2, and then 1. All right, so we're gonna do single leg exercises. We're gonna start with the right leg stepping back first. Our first exercise is basically gonna be a reverse lunge. So whenever you're in a reverse lunge, you want your knee to kiss the ground. Your front knee is in line with your ankle. You're pushing right back up to standing through that front leg. So stepping back, letting that back knee kiss the ground. Coming up to standing by driving through the heel. Now, one thing I see a lot in this exercise is that people really hyperextend their hips at the top. You don't have to do that. Just stack shoulders over hips before you slowly start to reach your foot back. Now, if bringing the knee all the way down to the mat is a challenge, you can always add a towel or like maybe your couch pillow, just to add a little bit of elevation as you slowly start to work on the mobility. But keep in mind, the correct form for a reverse lunge is to bring the knee all the way down towards the mat. from here, and we'll take a quick recovery, and we're just gonna switch sides. So we're gonna be cycling through all of these exercises. We'll just keep going with the flow, moving on to the opposite side. So stack shoulders over hips, step back, come right back up to standing. So my left leg is stepping back. My right leg is staying put. I'm pulling myself back up to standing by pressing down through my front heel. Now, depending on how tight my hip flexors are, will determine if as I go back, if I have somewhat of a forward lean. Totally okay. However, if you can stack shoulders over hips as you step back and down, you can always try that too for an added challenge. A few more seconds here, stepping through that right leg. You should start to feel this in the right quad. Give me one more, and the right glute. Whew, good. From there, all we're going to do is a lateral squat to a regular squat to a lateral squat. So feet are gonna stay together. You're gonna do a side lunge, feet together, traditional squat down the center, switch sides. But let's go over the lat squat to start. Toes are pointed forward, shift the hips back, step feet back together, come into your squat, and then alternate sides. So in a lateral squat, hips shift back, okay? Spine stays long. Forgot to do one of my squats on that one, it's okay though. Spine stays long, chest stays up, knee drives out. Now, if this is too challenging for you, you can just stick with the lateral squat, or you can keep the feet static, toes stay forward, and you can just shift from side to side, whatever makes more sense for you. But we'll do 3, 2, and then 1. Good. Let's come down onto the mat. All right. So we're going to be working our right leg, which means our left knee is going to be hugged in. This is for the booty muscles. So all you're going to do is make sure that knee is stacked right over ankle, open up chest, pull left knee into chest, and then all we're doing is pressing hips up towards the sky through that right leg. Now try not to go quick. I'd rather you pause at the top, slowly lower down, ensuring that you're using that right booty. So the knee that is pulled in towards the chest, you can hold onto the knee, tucking that knee tight into the chest. That's gonna help tuck your tailbone under, or you can kind of just let this left leg stay here actively. But don't overarch the back again. The core is gonna help control the lifting of the hips to keep everything right in line. Give me 3, 2, one more. Good, and then we'll switch. So from here, again, you can hug the right knee into the chest. As long as that left knee is just above the left ankle, open up the chest, press hips up towards the sky, slowly lower down. Now, depending on how tight your hip flexors are, will determine how high you can get the hips. As you're lifting hips up, drive through the heel. See if you can lift your toes up in the shoe of which you're lifting. You can even pull the toes towards the shin of the elevated leg. So this is my right leg, left leg is doing the work. Targeting the booty and the hamstrings. Whew. We've got about 7 seconds left to go. Open up the chest, press the back of the armpits into the mat. Give me 3, 2, 1. Now keep in mind which leg was working. That was my left side. We're gonna move on to working the right leg. So come down into quadruped position. You're gonna be on elbows, tuck the left toe under, reach the right foot on an angle, toe pulled towards shin, and then all you're doing is lifting that right heel up so that it comes right in line with the head. Try not to overextend the back, engage the core, and just keep lifting that right leg out. Now I'm not lifting my right leg straight out behind me. If you look to see, my toe is tapping on the outside of my mat. Now coming down to my elbows is gonna help me keep my core engaged. If I was up on my hands, there's a good chance, give me 2, 1, that I would hyperextend my back. So I wanna keep my back nice and flat. Let's set up for the other side. Toe pulls towards shin on the left leg, lift left heel up until it is one straight line from my head to my heel. Think about engaging the core, and then as you lift up, you want to feel the booty burn. Now because we're lifting the leg up on an angle, not only are we hitting the glute max, we're also getting into the glute med and the glute min, the smaller glute muscles. So this is a great activation energy and exercise. It's great energy too. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2 more, and then we're gonna head right back up into that reverse lunge. All right, we are moving right along. So standing up nice and tall, we're gonna start with the right leg going back, left leg is gonna be doing the work. Right leg steps back, whew, come right back up to standing. Now, if you're curious what to do with your hands, in a world where we potentially have weight or dumbbells, we would probably be holding the dumbbell in the goblet position, which is just right on our chest. So I naturally always bring my hands kind of in this prayer position right in front of my chest, only because I feel like that's how I naturally think about potentially holding a weight. Now drive yourself up to standing through that left leg. The right leg is the moving leg. Trying to get that back knee down to kiss the ground. We've got about 5 seconds left here. Let's get 3 more on this leg. 3, 2, last one. Whew. And then we'll switch sides. So this time my right leg is gonna stay put, my left leg is gonna be moving behind me. And I always like to kind of start in the bottom position of the exercise first. Then I know that my feet are in a good placement to start moving. So again, I'm just gonna put my hands in prayer position, right in front of my chest. Keep the core engaged. And if you wanna start to add your breath to the movement, exhale as you come up. So as we talk about that option to potentially bring a dumbbell, if you didn't want to do a bodyweight exercise and you did want to turn this into a more challenging exercise, you could turn it into a goblet hold, which would be where you're holding a dumbbell at the chest. You could have weights down at your side. Give me 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Now we're going to head to that lateral squat. You can have weights down to the side though. That's just an option. Toes are pointed forward. So you're gonna press the hips back, bend the knee, come right back up to standing. The main cue for a lateral squat is that the toes point forward. We're just moving side to side. So not only are you trying to push the hips back, you're trying to get deeper in your squat as long as your knee continually presses out. Now I'll show you one thing that I see go wrong a lot in lateral squats is people reach and they take their pressure over the knee or their body weight over the knee. Just stay in the center. Train your core to control the movement of the body. Now if you're wondering why I'm calling it a lateral squat as opposed to a lateral lunge is where the feet move. Right now our feet are staying static. So all it is a variation of a squat. It's a squat position where we're just moving laterally or side to side. Let's do 3, 2, and then 1. So that exercise specifically targets the quads and the glutes. Let's come down to the mat. We're gonna go back into our glutes and our hamstrings. So right leg is gonna stay bent. Left knee pulls into chest. Lift hips up to the sky. Now, if you ideally would like to extend this top leg, you totally can. But I feel that sometimes extending the top leg encourages this hyperextension of the lower back, which is why I like to pull the knee into the chest, because then I rotate my pelvis under, or I posterior tilt the pelvis, which is what we always hear about, so that my core can stay engaged. Let's do 5, 4, keep going, 3, exhale on the way up, 2, last one. Good, and then we'll switch sides. So there is a reason why we do a lot of the things we do in exercise. Here we go, setting up the left side. Right knee pulls into chest, toe is pulled towards shin, pressing through the left heel. Now my hip flexors in general are pretty tight, just because I did a lot of cycling for a really long time. So this is actually a really good exercise for me, but it's also very challenging. Whenever we start to incorporate one leg versus both legs, it is more challenging because we're putting all of our body weight on one leg as opposed to doing 2. So if you find yourself challenged in the single leg exercises, you could always do bilateral or both feet on the mat for 2 rounds as opposed to doing single right, single left. Just a little FYI. 3, 2, and then 1. All right, let's head to that extension of the hip. So coming to elbows, not hands, tuck left toe under, extend right leg back, engage the core, start to lift that right leg up towards the sky, lifting on an angle. Now, I'm not worried about you lifting your leg up. I'm sure you can do that, but can you not move your lower back? So how do I know I'm not moving my lower back? I'm really focusing on keeping my core engaged. If I drive my elbows into the mat, it kind of encourages that core strength. Let's do 3, 2, and then 1. Whew. Quick child's pose just to stretch out the lower back. Now in this pose, same thing left side. Don't forget, we're flexing our foot, meaning the toe pulls towards the shin. I'm not worried about you lifting the leg up. I'm more so focused on you engaging the core. Keeping the core engaged, lifting left leg up towards the sky, trying to bring that heel right in line with the head. Nice strong core. Keep the gaze down at the mat. Ooh, ooh, it's starting to burn. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. All right, that was a dooz. Okay, so from there, let's go ahead, come down to the mat, laying on your back. Just extend legs straight up towards the ceiling, open up the chest, and then I just want you to lower one leg down and then hold here for 3, 2, 1. Bring it right back up, switch sides and hold. So not only are we working on our core strength and our hamstring flexibility, we're also working on control of our limbs being in 2 opposite directions. Make sure the toe is pulled towards the shin, and we'll only do 1 more on each leg. And then we're gonna move into a new set of exercises. All right, so that exercise is gonna make a comeback. Let's come back up to standing. All right, now curtsy lunges or curtsy squats, whatever you wanna call them, you've gotta be careful when you're doing these. Let's talk about perfect form. Let's start with the right leg. So this is my right leg. I'm gonna step back with my left. So the front leg is the working leg. When I'm doing a curtsy lunge, I have to make sure that I'm protecting this front leg. Now, depending on my hip mobility is gonna determine how deep I'm gonna be able to get. So, if your hips are tight and you find this exercise extremely challenging, it's probably why. Now let's talk about the knee that's going behind. It should just be a little bit of a peekaboo that you should see the left knee on the other side of the ankle. Let's do 1 more on this side. And then we're just gonna go ahead and switch sides. What I don't wanna see is this really big, long reach back with the foot. We don't need that. Let's just be smart about our exercises. All I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to reach that leg as far back as possible. I'm trying to put all of the work in my front thigh, because this is where it's happening. It's not happening where the back leg is going back. The back leg is making sure I don't fall over. Now, what this exercise originates from is actually doing a single leg squat. So a precursor to this would essentially be, or I would say the progression to this would be not even using that back leg to touch the ground. It would just be coming down. We'll do that another day. Let's do 3, we'll do 2, we'll do 1 more, and then we're gonna come down to the mat. So if you have sensitive wrists, I don't know if I've told you this before, just go ahead and double layer the mat, put the heels of the hands or the meaty portion of the hands onto the elevated surface of the mat. Set up your push-up plank position. Now all I want you to do is drag your toe on the outside of your mat so that that knee comes on the outside of the elbow. Now I'm not bringing my knee all the way to my elbow, but I am pulling it up towards the elbow. So it's a core exercise, arm exercise. It also feels like a nice hip opener, an active hip opener, we'll say. So just dragging the toe, keep the gaze in front of you. Working the core, working the obliques. Let's do 1 more on each side. Good, and then flip over onto your back. We're just gonna do a classic hip raise, both feet, but make sure that feet are a little bit wider than hips. So my feet are about mat width apart. Open up the chest, lift hips up, lower right back down. So we're just doing a bilateral or traditional hip raise. We're doing it a little bit wider than normal, but not by much. So whenever you're pressing up, think about driving the knees out and pushing the hips up towards the sky. Now, if you do a ton of reps, a way that you could easily challenge yourself a little bit more is by pausing at the top, slowly lowering down. Lift and pause, lower down. Let's do 4 more together. We'll do 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Go ahead and stay here. We're gonna go back to those leg lowers, that exercise that we were doing in the beginning. So go ahead and pull toes towards shin, press armpits into the mat, press wrists into the mat, and then slowly lower 1 leg down. Pause here, press lower back into mat, bring foot back, and switch sides. So it's all about holding that split stance while simultaneously pressing the lower back into the mat. If you have a bend in the knee because the hamstrings are tight, totally okay, but keep in mind, ideally we would have a straight leg, so maybe in a future exercise, we'll work on some hamstring mobility. But the pause right here is really gonna train the legs to kind of function in that split stance. Toe pulls towards shin. Good. Give me one, nice. Now let's head back up to our curtsy lunge. This is actually our final round of exercises, our curtsy squat. Right leg is staying put, left foot stands behind. So instead of banging out a ton of reps, try pausing at the bottom and then pushing up. Pause at the bottom and then push up. Pause at the bottom. Now I'm saying pushing up because I'm driving through that front heel. Good. Stack shoulders over hips, just like when we were doing those reverse lunges at the beginning. Don't let the knee cave in. Make sure it's tracking right over the ankle. Let's do 2 more on this side, and then we'll switch legs. Whew. So from here, toe is pointed forward, back leg steps back. Once I get the motion, once I'm comfortable with the movement, then I'll add the pause. So pushing myself up to standing through that front leg. Chest stays up, shoulders stay stacked over hips, core stays engaged, breath is always a part of your movement. If I exhale on my way up, it's gonna help me keep my core engaged. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Oh yeah, 1 more, and then we are down to the mat for our toe drags. So I personally like to always double up my mat. I just feel like it feels better on my wrist, so go ahead and do it. Starting your push-up plank position, straight line from the head to the heels, and then slowly drag the toe just along the ground. So I know that you do a lot of exercise classes, and they normally have the foot elevated up off the ground. Yes, that is an exercise, but I really want you to focus on dragging the toe lightly on the ground. It forces the hips to stay low, and it gives you just a little bit more of a controlled workout. And if you're doing it right, it should be challenging. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2 more, 2, and 1. Flip over onto your back. From here, we're gonna do a Frogger bridge. First time we did a wide bridge. So big toes together, heels together. Feet, we're resting on the edges of our feet. Hips lift up, slowly lower down. So whenever I lower down out of my bridge, the first thing I want to hit the mat is my lower back. Lower back kisses the mat before lifting right back up. Keep the core engaged. So a good way to make sure the core is engaged is that if you're up here, chest should be in line with knees. If the hips are higher than the knees, there's a good chance that you're overextending the back. Good. Now let's head into our final exercise, the leg lowers. So press shoulders into the mat, slowly lower down. We're gonna do a total of 10. Pause. We've got 9. Switch. 8. Nice and slow and controlled. 7. Press the lower back into the mat. Toe pulls towards the shin. Going slow instead of fast. We got 6. This is our last exercise. Stay with it. We've got 5. We got 4. Open up the chest. Press the armpits into the mat. Don't forget the breath. Last 3. Last 2. Ooh, yeah. Good, 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 good. 1 more. Switch sides and rest. Go ahead and hug your knee into your chest. We'll do a quick little stretch. But that right there was our lower body weight workout. Kind of nice since there was no jumping involved. Go ahead and switch sides. Now, if you loved that workout, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave some comments, let us know you enjoyed it. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for working out with me. My name is Charlee Atkins, and I will see you next time on the mat.